do EQ first, then we'll go into Corey. Corey, you are a man first, and then you are gay second. Let me just put that out there for everybody on it. You are a man first, you are then gay. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, mate? So when you're doxing a woman, right, who's and her kids, right, who's on her own, single woman on her own, when I'm not around, okay, because I'm not there all the time, mate. When you're doxing a woman's address, and I told you, an old woman lives there too, one of the addresses, then you are a wrong'un, bro. You are wrong'un. Um, okay. So I'm just saying, it's not about you, whatever gender you are and wherever you are. I don't care about that. What I care about is you are a man and you put a vulnerable woman, right? Vulnerable when a man's not around. Let me just explain to you these people before I go into detail of why I went to EQs and why I went to Corey's. All right. I never went with a balaclava on. I never sent anybody to do anything. I went on my own so everybody could see it was my face. I went to Corey's in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? So when he turned around and says, "Oh, he walked off, he ran up." Listen, no police turned up for about 2 hours, and they turned up when he was on when he was on his live for starters. Because I went across the road and had something to eat. Across the road, there's a shop. There's a shop you can go in. 3 times I knocked Corey's door. He never showed you the first 2 times. And then he said he never come out of his house. He hid in his kitchen. He stood in there and I said, "Come out here, you. I want to chat with you." And it was a chat. It was a chat. He's always on about he's got all these big geezers from Wales. He says, "I know loads of people." So that's it. You know what I mean? I'm going to have a driver. And before you turn around and say you was in a white car, I weren't in a white car at all. You're chatting absolute buller. Anyway, we'll get into that. So let's go to EQ. Corey went on live, right, and doxed an address. Got asked not to do it. He went live and said an address. Okay. 2 days later, after doxing that address, right, on a Sunday, White Talia was at mass. Mass, and this can be proven, by the way. A gentleman knocked the door, and an 8-year-old child, one of the kids, answered that door to a strange man. This is on Jesus Christ, may he strike me down. Answered the door to a strange man. All right. The man weren't angry, weren't aggressive. He turned around and said, "Where's Talia?" Right. I was in. Luckily enough, I was in, and I went to the door and I said, "You what? What are you doing here, mate?" He went, "Oh, I just wanted to tell you just so we could have a picture." That's exactly what he turned around and says. "All right, I want a picture." Okay. Um, respond. What do you mean? You want receipts? Not only that, other people have come to the house, but as if whatever. Anyway, but that's exactly what happened. Okay. Corey did it. He doxed it. 2 days later. Okay. I'd had enough. I'd had enough. All right. EQ then went on live. Come on here, and I'll play all this stuff because I want to do that later on. This KJ person who said she was an ex-girlfriend of mine. This KJ who works in an office of mine who was at Help the Heroes night, one picture, and said, "Oh, I was with Ricksta for 7 months and he beat me." Oh, no, what the? This was debunked 3 years ago. This has already been done. EQ bunked it, Hill did, Luke did, Angie did. Okay, all she asked for, she said she met me on Tinder. Then it was, I met him in the office. She kept chatting his story. Then he had a brother called Craig. She did. I hope some of you remember that. Then it was Joey. My brother's called Joseph. All right, that's one of them, by the way. And that's it. All right, this is what she turned around and said. It was debunked. I'm going to play you evidence tonight anyway to prove that this person, not only is she a compulsive liar, but I've never been with her in my whole life. She's a liar. I'd also get a best friend in the box who fell out with me, who was horrible to me, nasty, for months because he thought there was all this stuff until he found out the real truth. And I'll call up analyse. Well, that's what she's done. She's gone on here, right? And my big up Chelsea. How you doing, babes? My Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, she's gone on here, said all these lies, EQs, then aired her in the box. She's gone after her, say, "Oh, no, I want you in my box to say all this." So that made out that I was some kind of DV abuser, that this person was my ex. And it's absolute bullshit. I've had 3 relationships in the last decade. You know, decade before that, I was with a girl from when I was a kid. Then I was with my ex-partner, right? Who I share a child off. And then I'm with Talia. That's it. Do you understand what I mean? I've spoke to people in the past, of course. I haven't think that I'm on about long relationships longer than 6 months. Just fabricated lies. But you're in the box, and then people are just, "Oh my god!" But you've got to understand when there's new people on the platform, people are then believing that. So my daughters are watching that. My friends are watching it, even though they know it's not true. I've had phone calls off my friends because who's this bloody nut job making it? But I've had it already. I've got ex people who work for me saying, "What's she lying for?" Do you understand what I mean? This woman went to an office and the guy who run her, the manager, right, she accused him of rape. But I didn't really know all this until like 2 years ago because, you know what I mean? Just help the heroes. I was the gaffer, I was the CEO. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So anyway, EQ aired that. She knew it weren't true, but she done that to make me look really, really bad. On top of that, then Corey went along and goes, right, I'm going to dox this woman's address, a single woman on her own, with kids, right? And then people turn up at the house. And it's true before anyone says, oh, no, it's true. Stop calling me a liar. It's true, right? Every single day, then you've got the likes of this Sophie going live, right, getting clout. Because all she ever does every day is mention Talia and me. The baby, the baby, the baby, the baby, the baby, I don't believe this about the baby, this about the baby, that about the baby, Ricksta, Talia. And she gets a few views. I think she gets a few hundred and she's born this shit, by the way. Baby, you know what I mean? And it's coming daunting. I thought, fuck this. So I went down. So I never went to any lady's house, right, before you start mentioning EQ. I never went to her. She's the instigator in all this. She's the instigator. So I went there very politely, who knocked that door, regardless of knocking a door, right? One of her neighbours, who I don't know who she is, she inboxed me the address, or him, it could be any one of them, and said, we don't want her on our street. This is what they said. This is no word of a lie. We don't want her on our street. She's just moved in. So I wouldn't have the address otherwise, would I? Okay, I wouldn't have the address. So her neighbours do not like her. They do not like her. I'm getting fingered because it had gone on for, like, you've got to understand, guys, I have been at this off and on for 2 years with Evil Queen. She said the worst of the worst about me and about my mum. And I've fired back at her. We fight back at each other. But when people are turning up, right, to my girlfriend's house, she's got a couple of houses, so it's not just one. And there's an old woman there, she's 80. 80 years of age woman, right, and her kids. Then gloves are off, man. You've gone too far. You've overstepped the mark. Do you know what she done a couple of weeks ago as well? But she won't tell you this. The old Bill went to my stepfather's house, who's touching 70, and went, listen, there's a danger on Ricky's life. People are going to kill him. I swear to God, God's my witness, right? So they're going to kill him. They're going to do him. And people are going to come to your house. So she sent the police to that house anyway. I've never once sent people to her Dad's house. No people have ever gone to John's house. I know where John lives. I've never put John's address out there. I haven't aired it on here, but she decided to wear my stepfather's address, knowing that I don't live there. Okay? And then she turns around and goes, oh, Ricksta lives. I've got my own place in Stratford. Right, I've had it for ages. I'm not going to say what area, Stratford. And if you don't believe me, ask Dimitri, because Dimitri lives right by me. Dimitri have vouched for me. He's a good lad on the app. So it's just made up lies. You drive your girlfriend's car all the time, lies. She's got a white car, I've got a black car. If you don't believe me, ask my mum. My mum to tell you. Absolute BS. Bullshit. But she's gone on and gone on and gone on. She's called me the worst of the worst of the worst. I've said bad things to her. She said bad things for me. Do you understand what I mean? But I went to that door to knock the door and say to her, "A fucking enough. Enough is enough." Because let me tell everybody here now, for instance, right, they have got so many enemies, so many big enemies, right? Her and the other fella, right? Massive enemies of what they've said and done. Like, it is uncontrollable. You can't control what will happen eventually because these little lads nowadays, these junkies and these people, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Pay them a few quid, do whatever. They do not give a shit. So you're lucky I went round there, as far as I'm concerned, peaceful. I wouldn't go in there to put EQ or hurt EQ. He said a lot about me over the years. I'm an abuser. Abuser for what? I only ever met her twice. I say this all the time. But she's gone on for years. She's tried to break up my relationship. She's told lies about me. She said I was 5'2", 50 odd years of age. Wear a tube. I don't care any silly things, but that's what she's been saying about me. I touch kids. My missus touch kids. My cousin touch kids. Miss Reds touches kids. Do you understand what I mean? I've got so much more that I've got that I'm not going to wear today because I can't, which is destroyable. But I'm not going to wear that. But what I'm not going to do, right, is sit back. When she's turned around and said this, right, come round my house to tea. Come round. Come round any time you want, because if you come round here, I'll do this and that's it. Do you think I'm going to send my missus around, a little petite girl, right? Or would I go around to that? I'm no disrespect to that, and I'm not saying anything about her gender, but she's biologically stronger than my girlfriend. Biologically. I said I was going to do anything to EQ because I wouldn't, but I was going to tell her, fucking enough now. You know, enough. That man could have done anything to that little boy, and he could have, no matter what you can say. Oh, Rick's down the air. Look, it's true. It's true, all right? And I get Talia to put the camera evidence on here to prove it, so I'm not lying. Okay. And when the kid's online, I care about that kid. I love that kid. Fucking love him. All right. And I mean, and he's got and the boy, he's got autism too. I'm going to defend that. I'm sorry, but this is down to Corey and down to it being instigated by the other one. And they think it's funny. EQ's got no kids. Corey's got no kids. So they think it's okay to do an FYP show and Doc's children put it out there. They think it's okay. It's funny. It's not funny, man. It's one thing when you go to my stepfather's home, but he's more than protected around that manor because he's got children around there. He's got nephews. He's got cousins. So there's more than enough people who would turn up that house within minutes if anybody could done anything. So but when you're turning up to a vulnerable woman on her own, right, who suffered real serious DV, go look in the papers, where somebody tried to literally end her life, right, and she thought it could be him or anybody else. And when the kids are in the house and she's at mass, and there's an old woman here, then I am going to stand on business. Okay, I'm going to do that. Never come round to hurt anyone. I came round to knock the door and said, enough is a fucking enough. Okay? I come to your house. I told you to come out. You wouldn't come out. I looked through the window. I told you to come out. There was nobody holding around the back, like you said. That's a compulsive lie. No, there wasn't. Or there wasn't no. You said to everybody today, I called you a BEND. I was not once there when I was you homophobic. If you are, play them messages. You've got my permission to play them messages. If you don't want to play them, send them to EQ because you'll play them. Or get somebody to. That's a lie. I told you this. Stop speaking about my girlfriend and about my baby. If you carry on, right, things are going to be different. That's what I turned around and said. The first time I said, right, what should happen? But then I went back to the window. I said, because one of the geezers said, you're in the window, you're in the kitchen, and you was in there. That's what you did. And then you said, the police come. The police never come. Do you understand how far your house is to I had to find a parking space to your car. It's about a fucking 3-minute drive walk down the road. So don't start chatting that. And I hung around for a long time because I went into the shop, got myself a drink and something to eat. So it's another lie. It took 2 hours for the police to come. And let me state something to everybody here now, Roy. If you feel under threat or something's going on in your life or somebody's been around your house, the police would not tell you to air things online for clout and camera. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So I call BS on you. I'll call BS on that. Call BS because I know something's going on at the moment and it's not allowed to be aired. You're not allowed to put the camera evidence on there because it's a court. You know, something's going on through it's an investigation. So go on in there and say, oh yeah, my dad said this. Oh, Ricksta, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. I call BS on what you turn around and saying 100%. And as for the other fella, the Levi, somebody knocked his door. He was there. His mother answered the door, right? And he goes, can I speak to Levi? Levi, she goes, Levi, what do you want him for? He said, I just want to talk to him. And it's just a chat. And he turned around. She went, he don't live here. I went then on my own, right? I called up to the window. I said, Levi, I said, I know you're there. Come down and speak to me, you sausage. That's what I said. He looked out the window curtain, he pulled the curtain to the side, and then he put it back because he absolutely shot his pants, because he did. He shit himself and walked back in. I walked slowly off, and that was it. I said, if you don't apologise to my missus, or you mention my missus again, I said, things are different. That's what I turned around and said. It's simple as that. That's exactly what I turned around and said. But I am sticking to my word in what I'm telling everyone, right? This is not about TikTok. This is not about me or just me or anyone. There's people you've upset. There's people that you've infuriated. There's people who don't care about anything or anyone who are not like me. They're very serious players, right? And you've upset them. And you are lucky and you are blessed that I come to that door on my own, just me. Because I come plain faced, knowing you had cameras everywhere to talk. If I come in any other way, right, I would have never come with my face. You would never have seen my face coming. You would never have seen it. Okay. But the good part of me wanted to say, enough now. Leave Talia alone. Stop chatting shit. Stop letting people jump in your box. That's not true, which I'll debunk in a bit. And leave my girlfriend alone. You're doing it for clout. You're doing it to get views. And that's all you've been doing it for. I said that to you. And I've turned around and said to you time and time again, right, if you continue to do this, not to me, to others, right, things will, someone is going to get seriously hurt. Seriously hurt. And you keep talking about it, do you know what I mean? Let me just turn around and say about midnight. So, Ricksta, why did you turn up at EQ's at 12 o'clock? It took me 4.5 hours to drive. 4.5 hours to drive from there. Hang on. Is that the one I know? Oh, I thought it was just Craig from years ago. It's not you. Yeah, 4.5 hours to drive. So I went straight to there and knocked the door off. The windows were open upstairs. All the lights were off. She was there. She was 100% there, but she weren't answering the door. It's as simple as that. I was polite. I was nice. There was no shouting. There was no swearing. There was no threatening. You know what I mean? Nobody shouted up, said they were going to do this and do that. Nobody said a word. I just, you know what I mean? Went there and we left. Okay. But I just let her know enough now. It stops today. You know what I mean? It stops today. Why did I try the handles? Right. When I went to the first door, um, when I went to the first door, I think it's just natural to put your hand on a door. I just leant on it. I didn't go, well, put down, let me go in the door. I would booted the door off if I wanted to get in there. Same with Corey's door. You know what I mean? I'm a big lad. I'm 15 and a half stone. I'm 6'2". If I wanted to get through Corey's door, it wouldn't be hard. He had a fence at the back. You could literally walk through his gate into his house. It wouldn't be hard to get to Corey's. It wouldn't. But you wasn't alone. You, listen, what I'm saying to you, I had a driver. Somebody drove me down. So what? Does it matter if I went with 50 people or went on my own? Do you understand? Corey said I went with 4 people. Corey said I went with 4 people. I went with 4 people at all. You know what I mean? I'm in the middle of Wales, right? I'm in the middle of Wales. Just me, right? I'm a driver. That's it. We've seen the footage. I know you have. Good for you. I'm glad you've seen the footage. So you see that I was barefaced, and I went with me and one other guy knocked the door. It ain't threatening, Yvonne. How is it threatening? How is it threatening? I said to listen. I've just told you why I went there. I went there that when kids get mentioned, when people turn up at doorsteps with vulnerable kids, and people have literally gone through shit in the past year, then all gloves are off. It's simple as that. This is, yeah. He said to me many times, Corey said, "Come on, then, Ricksta, come round. What will you do? You'll do nothing." All right. So he turned around, you won't come to my house. You'll do absolutely nothing. I could turn around and said, guys, I was kind. I weren't nasty. Nobody got the windows put through. Nobody's car got smashed in. Nobody's door got come off. For what's been said on this app, what's been said about the loss of my child, what's happened to my stepfather, what's happened to Talia's door being up with children, and what's been said about Talia, right? You know what I mean? You're lucky that I've been come there politely. Look, people think for some reason that I'm some kind of sausage. That, oh, Rick, if you come round my house, I'll open the door and would have it. No, it weren't about that. I never went round to knock anybody's door, to break anyone's legs and arms. I went round there to say, I want it gone. I want it to stop. You've gone too far. There's a kid in the house, there's a child, and somebody turned up, and that person could have been a bad person. It could have hurt that kid. Do you understand? It could have went absolute pear-shaped. You can't be putting stuff online about everyone. I've never put Corey's address online. I've never turned around and said anything about where he lives. Do you understand? I haven't doxed Levi's address ever, but he's doxed my address. He's doxed the address of my stepfather's. He's made up a fake account with Sophie and put all that stuff out there. That's what they've done. Okay, but you're coming for me and Talia, and you're going on, oh, we don't like you, this and that. We have been intimidated, bullied, lied about, mocked. Our baby mocked. We've been mocked. We've been lied about. Right? You've had people jump in boxes to say that I'm kind of abused an ex, and everyone's laughed and said, yeah, look, it's all true and real, right? And then you want to call me the abuser, or you are how am I an abuser? I've never been done for hitting a woman in my life. I've never hurt a child. My DBS is clean. I haven't. Can everybody else say that? No, they can't. Me and my girlfriend don't ever argued because of what's been said and done over TikTok. But one thing about me, I have got a past. The people I'm associated with and know are not nice people. Okay, they would not come round that door knocking. They would knock the door. They wouldn't knock the door. They wouldn't give you a phone call. And they wouldn't come and put your windows through. I'm sorry, but they wouldn't. What you've said on children, what you've said on kids, what you've said about old people, what you've said about my dead mum, what you've turned around sending people round to the house. And I'm not saying that they sent someone, because I can't prove that. I believe that when they dox the address, that's why they've turned up to the address, because EQ went on live the other day and she goes, everybody, who lives close to Talia? Let me know. Tell me where you are. That's another thing that's done it as well. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? When she's got kids and there's a vulnerable person there. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Just imagine if there was nobody there and that kid was there, or that old woman was just on her own and there was the kid there. What do you think could have happened? You don't know what's going to happen. So when people start mocking me and saying, oh, Ricksta, you went round EQ's house, you went round Corey's house, but you're never questioning what they did. I had no alternative, because when the police are being phoned and it's taken, thank you for the when the police are getting phoned, right? And it's taken them forever to do anything about it, when there's vulnerable adults and children and elderly people, then when is enough? When is enough? When somebody comes through the door and hurts T, or hurts a grandmother, or hurts the kids when I'm not around, is that enough then? Is that okay then? Oh, what would you do then? What would you say then? What would you do if it was your kids, your family, your stepfather, your vulnerable nan? Tell me that I'm wrong. Going to somebody's house, say, fucking enough's enough, when it takes the police forever. I went there to go on business to say that. I weren't going there to hurt Corey. Fuck me. You know what I mean? He's about as harmless as a wet fart. Do you understand what I mean? Oh, come back down here, Ricksta, and listen, mate. You might get what you might get what you wish for, mate. Truthfully, because I don't care about your dad or the police, or I don't care if you carry on mentioning my girlfriend, firing up lies about her and my child, and lying about me, saying I'm a domestic abuser when that's not true, and you keep talking about Talia and going on and on and on. I'm telling you now, mate, it isn't going to be me you're dealing with. And oh, is that a threat, Ricksta? It's reality, Corey. It's reality, people. It's reality. You're lucky that I am the piece who wants to come down there. What I called you, chunky bum, because I didn't call you what I call you what I said you are. Do you know what I mean? And I think I need a bit of an Ozempic like you, don't I, mate? You never got rid of it naturally, did you? But I can. I go down the gym. I do train. Do you understand what I mean? I like being chunky. I like a dad bod. You know what I'm saying? Corey, you wouldn't know. Like I said, I don't care about the did you have a burner phone? Yes, let me just say to this, right? I phoned Corey off my phone, right? It was blocked. Well, he was not blocked. He never blocked me. He's an absolute liar. He never blocked me at all. So I then borrowed my pal's phone to phone Corey to answer the door, because he wouldn't answer the door. And it wasn't until I walked off, he went, look, he's in the kitchen. And then he was in the kitchen. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So I never had a burner phone at all. I got one phone. Um, so that's it. House to home. So when people are saying all this shit about me, it's BS. Absolute, utter BS. There's a lot more people. Do you know how many messages I've had? Do you know how many? I haven't got two phones, man. It keeps my mates. Do you know how many messages I've had saying to me, what's EQ's address? Please give it me. I want it. And EQ's go, I won't do enough. I think how far she's gone lately and what she said about kids and all that, right? People do want her address. I haven't given her address out. I haven't given anyone. And that's like a turn around and said, that's a my mother's actually. I have not given her address. People, pardon? EQ's? I said, I haven't given it out to no one. Pardon? Yeah. No, I haven't given it out. Right. I also, believe it or not, haven't get Corey's address. I've had messages from people, and I say this, a couple of friends of mine from the gay community, by the way, from the gay community. This is no word of a lie. And maybe one of them are getting my box in a bit and said, Rickster, I wish you would have taken me down there. He said, because I don't like him, and I would have given him a beating. Do you understand what I mean? And there's people in Wales as well when I'm down there who know me personally well, who have said to me, Rickster, I don't like him. Let me know where. And I said, I'm not telling you where he lives. I'm not gonna, I mean, I went round there to say, Corey Wilde, stop mentioning me and telling lies about me when it ain't true. Stop mentioning my missus. Stop doing it. It's enough. You know what I mean? I can't tolerate any more of the bullshit. I cannot take any more. Can't. You come on here, you earn a few quid, you fucking, you bloody, you got a cell phone's a few quid. I don't earn a few quid on TikTok. I don't come on here for the money. I come on here to do an FYP show, have a bit of a giggle. But it's been a war for 18 months. So if I don't do my FYP, somebody's speaking about, oh, he's done this and he's done that and he's this and he's that and talking on kids and that. I can't talk on that. I hate that kind of shit. I don't like, big up Rosie, I don't like anything said about kids. I hate anything said about kids. But the other fella, carry on, babe.
Hi, Sophie, babes. I know you're cam 2 in. I just want to show you like your own obsession here. You're sitting there,
Yeah, wait.
Cam 2 in Ricky, because you have no content. Your content tonight is Ricky. Now, the fact that people have gone to your fella's house, he's not come to the door.
Show it now.
Show what?
Did you want to show something?
Sad. So clearly that says, because you all want it to end, but you all want to keep Cam 2 and keep talking about it. Corey spoke about Ricky for what, how many hours?
3.
So you're telling us that you don't want it to end. You're telling us that you have no other content. Do you not have any other content tonight, Sophie Bailey? Or are you going to sit there, Cam 2 and Ricky? Is that what you're going to do? Now, Corey and Levi are hiding behind Ricky because she's the mouth of the South and she thinks because she's a girl, nothing's going to happen to her and she can keep running it. At the end of the day, you, Sophie, you are the one that are making everyone come unstuck. So keep your fucking Cam 2
Hey, babe, you know, it's a thing here. Don't be saying about looking after a kid. Think that you'll get blocked. You'll get blocked anyway. But Bradley, you tell me about it, mate. People say it's kind of when will it end? Bradley, you got the best, you got the worst out of everyone, mate. You got kickings, you got your eye bust open, you got beat up. Do you understand what I mean? You should have reported that. You should have reported that, mate. You should have. But maybe you're not like that. Maybe you're not like that. You're a good egg. I think that you. Like I said, I can start speaking about her and tell you what my thoughts are, but I've got so much in the background going on. And I'll be honest with you guys, and I know, I'm not going to say, I want to say it once, right? I know you're not going to believe me, but I could ruin EQ now. I could ruin EQ this second now, and all of you should turn your back on her. And I tell you the reason why. I've got stuff that is so damning, and I'm not lying, right? I've got it, and Bradley got it. I've got it, Brad. I've got, just to let you know, I've really got it this time. I've got it. This happened over the last 48 hours, and I've got it. And when I show you, you're going to be like, what the actual fuck? Oh, okay. Okay, but I ain't said anything, have I? I've made a promise.
Sophie emotionally abused her child.
Not yet, babe. Okay. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it as of yet. I can't be bothered. Let us speak about because I've been asked not to do it yet. Been asked. There's reasons for it. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not. Listen. If you know me by now, people, yeah, you know that I say how it is. You know, I'm straightforward. That's why some of you like me and some of you don't like me, right? Guys, you're not going to get in my box for clout. If I don't listen, if you're not my mod, if you don't subscribe to me or we don't get on, I'm not going to let you in my box to say, oh, Ricksta, you shouldn't have done that. And that. You're never getting in my box. You won't get any clout. That's it. I will open my boxes to the people I want in my box. That's it. If you want to have an opinion, if you agree or don't agree with what I've done, of course I'll let you in my box. But I'm not going to let you come in here and shout and say stuff that's not true. It's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. All right. I want to know, is Wayne, are you in the chat, mate? Because I need to get onto another couple of whatever. Hang on. Yeah. And listen, I want to say I've had a lot of messages about this Zia as well. I've had an awful lot of message. You know what I mean? Let me just say this to you, Soph, because obviously you don't know how to bring up your kids. Let's be honest to what you do, throwing your feces up the wall and doing other stuff, which is disgusting. Why do your kids call Zia Nan? She gives you money, she drops you low. Why are your kids calling Zia Nan? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Just to let you know. Nanny Zia. Somebody that I've known 5 minutes. It's a bit weird, isn't it? That's another story. So, I mean, you've got absolutely no content. You go back to your 300 views tomorrow. That's it. You know what I mean? It's a bit weird. That's it. Your kids are calling a nan. You know what I mean? What for a few quid? It's to me. It's just like I take my daughters are 2 and 3. Call some woman who drops me a few gifts. Nan. I just don't do it. It's a bit hard. That's my opinion. You know, you might find it funny, but then again, what I've heard come out your mouth and how you act, you're not really compass mentis. But let me just turn around and say something as well, right? You're a real bad person. You're real bad. What comes out your mouth? right? And you've carried on mentioning a girl and you think, let me just tell you now, right, this to this day, for everything you say in this life, there's repercussion and consequences. And I know people say, you'll do nothing. You've got no idea. You've got no idea. You've got no idea. Okay? Because I'll tell you all straight now, every one of you, I will never, ever turn up at anybody's house again. All right? I'll never turn up at anybody's house again. I won't go around the house to say, listen, here's a white flag. Here's a white flag. Let's stop talking about my girlfriend. Stop. If it's on the FYP, then play it, right? But don't make lies up. Don't say shit. That's it. What I will never ever come around your house ever again. But out of everyone, besides EQ, who's obviously a raving loon, Corey, Levi, do you know I can't stand the worst? Bailey. She's turned into something horrible. Horrible, like, and I love it. Oh, people like her. She's horrible, man. I mean, far from real. He's just unreal, and you can just see that venom in her eyes. And she wants to be like the other one. And yeah, let's just see what happens. She's bigging up her FYP page at the moment. Let's see how long that friendship's last. Do you understand? Anyways, Wayne in here, all right? Because I've got some things to play tonight. All right, let me just play a couple of videos. All right, play this one first.
Me. Therefore, I will not be discussing them anymore. However, if Ricksta does turn up to my house, I will keep it off the app, which I've done already. I have informed the police, Surrey Police, as well as South Wales Police, when they arrived yesterday, Ricksta, when you scurried off and jumped in the white Range Rover and drove away. Lol. Why didn't you just stay around and explain to the police what I've apparently done so wrong to cause you to come to my home? Why didn't you stay around and do that? Thank you so much, my Shelby. I love you. Did I get a pin for my 5 subs earlier? I don't know whether you did or not. You can get pinned now, though. Luke, thank you so much. Luke, can you stop pinning everybody who sent big gifts, please? Thank you, TikTok baby. All right? So again, Ricksta, you come anywhere near my house, I'll call the police. I'm going to see you in jail anyway because I find it bizarre. Big up Demi, darling! Thank you, Demi, my love. Oh, drifting cars everywhere, Demi, darling. Thank you so much, my Demi. But again, as I said, you come anywhere near my home, regardless what day or night it is. The only way that you're going to get into my home is by kicking the door in. And if you come through my door, then it's just retaliation for what comes next. All right? I am not scared or intimidated by anybody. When I had bricks flying through my window from Sam Walker, did I leave? No. Did I run to a hotel? No. Did I move my car? No. All right? So I'm certainly not going to be scared of you. All right? Can everyone make sure you drop and DM me or follow me? Therefore, I will not be discussing them anymore.
I did an exposure on KJ, right?
Me. Therefore, I will not be discussing them anymore. However, if Ricksta does turn up to my house, I will keep it off the app, which I've done already. I have informed the police, Surrey Police, as well as South Wales Police, when they arrived yesterday, Ricksta, when you scurried off and jumped in the white Range Rover and drove away. Lol. Why didn't you just stay around and explain to the police what I've apparently done so wrong to cause you to come to my home? Why didn't you stay around and do that? Thank you so much, my Shelby. I love you. Did I get a pin for my 5 subs earlier? I don't know whether you did or not. You can get pinned now, though. Luke, thank you so much. Luke, can you stop pinning everybody who sent big gifts, please? Thank you, TikTok baby. All right? So again, Rick's...
I've got some videos to show you guys, and I've also got some other content that I need to show you. Before, let me say this. There is some content for you.
Slag bits out. Right, tell him you're calling the police on him.
So this is talking about a woman, right? How are you doing, Farah? Are you okay? Are you good? Yeah, this is about a woman who literally says the worst of the worst, a right bad person, really, really bad. She's never seen so many views in her life when she's doing it. But listen, look at that. Would any of you ladies make your child say this? Alienation towards their father. Would any of you ladies allow your child to alienate the father like this and say this kind of stuff? This is the kind of person that you watch.
Calling the police.
No, what did he say?
Daddy will not answering.
You have to voice fail.
I think I've...
Ring the police now. Ring the police and tell them about everything your dad said that's me.
She's a massive enabler.
Everything.
She's bad.
Hi, police. My dad's been mean to me because he just said I'm just a bitch, and he was screaming at me.
What else? Tell him he said he's going to take your eyes out.
He's gonna take my eyes out.
And tell him he said he's going to kick your ass.
He's gonna kick my ass too.
Yeah, say, please, can you arrest him? I don't
How old's
feel
that kid?
safe.
3?
Can you please arrest my dad because I don't feel safe?
You understand what I mean? And this is the mother. This is the mother. This is the kind of mother you've got. Look at this.
Sophie Bailey throwing her actual feces at her kitchen wall. Money must be really
And the kids have
tight.
got to go in there.
Right.
Feces at the wall.
Where am I throwing it at the wall?
Yeah.
What, for a bit of clout and a bit of content? This is somebody who
Okay,
do
right,
go
ready.
really far and
Oh,
extreme
fuck's sake.
to get
Right,
a few
better get a
views and a
uni
few
and
quid.
something for
This is how
guys.
low she'd go.
Oh, this is ringing. Oh! I didn't put my hand near my mouth.
You've got 3 kids. They've got to go in that kitchen. They've got to eat, and I don't care how many times you bleach it. That's out of your guts. That's out of your backside.
Tap the screen. There's 130
You
in
know what I
it,
mean?
please.
Sophie Bailey throwing.
Things would have went all over the floor, all on the wall. Do you understand the germs and diseases that's in a human system? It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And even more, there's so much in here.
Put your left arm in, your left
That's the kind of mother you are, like. And that's what you're supporting, that's what you're all paying for. I didn't see Pharaoh.
Knees bent, arms stretched, rah, rah, rah. You put your right arm in, your right arm out. In, out, you shake it all about. You do the okey dokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about. Oh, the okey dokey. Oh, the okey dokey.
Pharaoh, you're in here, you're a good friend of mine, right? Do you find this really offensive? Because I know my kids are mixed race as well, and they found this really offensive and disgusted. All right, but I want you to see it. Tell me, look at this. So there's Sophie Bailey, and look what she's putting in here. Watch. Look what she's doing with the lips there. Right? Or absolutely, that's him on. And look what she's put at the top. She's put black people in a field cotton picking. Do you understand what I mean? And that is probably one of the worst racist things I've ever seen, ever. The way people were treated back then, and what happened to them and their ancestors, and that's what she puts in there. How disgusting is that? How racist and vile is that as a person? It's deep, ain't it, heaven sent? This is an extra form of racism. This isn't somebody calling someone the N-word. This is somebody who's got it built in them, really built, because they've gone right into detail. Look at that. Look at that picture. Do you understand what I'm saying? She calling people. It's. I can't believe. I don't know whether Torians jumped on this. I don't know, but I think she's the kind of person to rip someone to shreds. But that is what you call. I've heard some people with be racist on this app. I really have. Say that, and I'm not talking people. I'm talking that is dark. That is really, really dark. You know what I mean? That is really, really dark. And I don't know how she can get away with doing stuff like that. It's another thing as well. Look. 3 days and I'm already seeing results. Then she's got, basically, you've got a man there. He's got pigmentosis, so he's got pigments in his skin. As you know, you've seen that, because I've got a cousin who's got that. She's mixed race, but she's got the pigment. And then, there you go, the racism. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So this proves one of the kind of people that you're, it proves the kind of person that Sophie Bailey is. And if you want to check more on Sophie Bailey, please go over to Cokie Sophie Bailey. There's loads of, it's a hate crime, Coco. It's disgusting hate crime. Yeah, so it's a Pokey Sophie Bailey. Everyone go over there, give it a follow. Give it a follow. Go and have a look for yourself and just check out who Sophie Bailey really is. Okay, the kind of character that you're dealing with on a daily basis. And all the doxing and that as well. Hang on.
Accusing us of doxing people's addresses when me and Levi have never once doxed anybody's address ever, and we would never do that.
See you later, Sophie.
Alright, darling, see you later. Have a nice time at 25 Foxcliff in Notting Lane in Brotherton. Later, have a nice time at 25 Foxcliff in Notting Lane in Brotherton.
Like, that is not normal. It's not nice behaviour. I would never once condone that. Wait, someone get me Aaliyah McGregor's address. 1 minute. 192.com. Aaliyah McGregor.
No, stop. You're just doxing a random person now, stop.
No, but this is what I mean. Don't come for me and start making it a threat that you know my address, because two can play that game. And if I found out Levi did that, I would lose my shit with him.
There you go, guys. There's his number. Feel free to screenshot and call him all the time. Tell him he's a racist CUNT and tell him.
Do you understand what I mean, guys? That's another General G. This is for clout, this is. It's with General G. How many others has she been with? Do you understand what I mean? That's the kind of person that you're dealing with. She's the person who doxed. She was the person, and leave all the ones who doxed. Give one of the addresses out, Talia. All right. Yeah, Corey aired it. Yeah, it was instigated, but they're the guys who did it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there you go. Let's get back into the other stuff. So I want to talk about this person, guys. This is what I want to talk about tonight, because I think some of you have come over to listen about it. But let me just show you this. Please keep tapping and sharing, guys. Get the heart me's and the bracelets in. Let me play this.
I did an exposure on KJ where she lied about being kidnapped, right? And she drew on a fake bruise to make out she was kidnapped. I had a man called Danny come into my chat and tell me how she abused him. So what, are we not meant to...
So let me just give you a little bit of a backstory, guys. This lady called KJ came on the app the other day. This KJ used to work in one of my offices many, many years ago, right? And there's a picture at an event with me and loads of other people and her. I knew back then by someone that she accused someone of rape. I knew probably about 18 months later, two years later, I got told I was on the platform, and then people were inboxing me about her. She's done this, she's done that, she's done that. Right? What she did 2 years ago, she come on 3 years ago. She come on the platform and said, "I know Ricksta. I was with him for 7 months. He beat me up. His brother Craig took the rap for it and went to prison. No, it was Joseph many years later. Then she turned around and said, my brother Craig had gone to prison for fraud, etc., etc. And I grasped him. I ain't got a brother called Craig. Do you understand what I mean? But then she said that she was kidnapped, punched in the face, and then she drew black on her eye. She drew black on her eye and said, and then it was debunked as well. This person's raving lunatic. And then EQ got her in the box the other day. I'm going to get her best mate on in a sec from that. He's not our best friend anymore, but he was, who literally ripped me a new one back then until he obviously found out everything. But let me just tell you what Luke says, and then hopefully Wayne's still here to let him in the box.
Are we not meant to? Was Danny not a victim, no? The abuse that he turned around and said he went through from KJ. Huh? Both can be true. You're very right. I asked KJ to show me any messages and any pictures with her. No, evil mistletoe, she's not telling the truth, right? She's not telling the truth. I asked KJ, went into her chat and asked KJ, could you tell me, show me a pic, you were in a relationship with Ricky, right? He doesn't even have a brother called Joey, but apparently Joey went to prison.
I have got a brother called Joseph. He was Craig, she said, just to let everybody know.
Joey went to prison for what Ricksta did.
Well, back then she said Craig, but now it's Joey because he's been aired on TikTok over the last few months. Just to let you know, she never knew that back then.
To KJ, asked her to show me a police report, asked her to show me a court proceedings that he went
Are you
to
still
jail.
here, Wayne? If you're here, get in the box,
Out
please.
of her chat for asking. I asked her to produce a picture of her with Ricksta because I didn't want to jump on. She couldn't produce anything. Bear in mind, this is a woman that stole money from a Down syndrome child and spent his coins on TikTok. I had a man coming into my chat, yeah? No, Wayne, you're not coming in my box, Wayne. And I'll tell you, Wayne, why you're not coming in my box, Wayne, right? Because you've been slagging me all over the app, Wayne, yeah? I know you were KJ's best mate. Yeah,
Right,
I know you were KJ's best
Wayne.
mate, and I know, Wayne, that you know everything about KJ and her lies. Wayne is in the chat, truth to the core, and Wayne is was KJ's best mate, and he knows that the allegation she put in a WhatsApp group that she was kidnapped. She was not kidnapped. She lied. When she said the kidnappers had punched her in the face, she drew a bruise on her face or with makeup, and she admitted that she lied. I've seen the WhatsApps. Ask Jojo the Savage. She's got all the WhatsApps. Any of you see Jojo?
Hey guys, listen, for everyone in there, 1.7 thousand, yeah. If you don't drop me a crab now, I'm coming for everyone. I'm going to come to every one of your houses and knock your door. Remember that. Crabs now, and I'm coming to your house.
Jojo the Savage.
Not yours,
Go and
Wayne.
speak to Jojo the Savage. She's got all the WhatsApp. Oh, I did a live on her. It was eyeshadow, yeah. So I did a live on KJ. And all I simply did was ask KJ. All I asked KJ was, could you show me a picture of you? That's it. No, don't involve Joe. Mazza, she's got all the screenshots. She's got all the WhatsApp messages. That's why I've said she was in charge of that exposure. She was in charge of it. And she couldn't believe the things she was doing. But Wayne, you're not coming. You are not going to slag me off and then come into my live. I know all about KJ. I don't
Everyone
need
give
you.
Wayne a follow,
okay?
guys.
I don't need you to come in. So I don't even know why you're in here. Bye. I did an exposure.
Hey Wayne, before I explain who you are, and we go into the story of how me and you, big up Kerry for the crab, and we go, can I just play a 4-minute video of KJ? Do you mind?
No, of course I don't mind. But before you play it, can I just say something about your cousin, Puke the judge?
Oh, come on, please, don't be mean about him. Don't be mean.
I'm not going to be mean.
Please.
He's got me mixed up with somebody else, though. I haven't been slagging him off. Yeah, I have not had his name in my mouth because he's not that important. So he's got the wrong Wayne, though. So I just wanted to clear that.
Okay, Luke, if you are watching it, you've got the wrong Wayne, to let you know. All right. No, he hasn't said anything bad about Luke.
I haven't, no.
He never let him in the box earlier on. Luke was going mad about Wayne, and Wayne was messing with me. He's got the wrong Wayne. So that's why he's pissed off. But he hasn't said anything bad about Luke. You know what I mean?
I do love him, really. I do like his FYP, but, you know, I'm not going to take the fall for somebody else.
I called him Puke. That's it. Come on. I don't think Luke would mind that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let me play you this video, guys. Let me play you this. This is a really important video to let you know who this lady is who's been saying that she's my ex-partner. I beat her up. It was me. And it's just literally made up out of thin air. But let me play this ready, right? So I want you to read this. I'm going to let me put myself back on big screen so everybody knows. And I'll get Wayne. And then Wayne's going to have a talk to you guys, right? So there you go. Let me know if everyone can see that, right? So I might literally cover my face for a little bit because I want everybody to see what it. Guys, you're not getting in my box till after. This is about Wayne. You can all get in my box and have your say after, right? But not until Wayne's done his talk. So let me just play this. And I'll read it to you. I provide receipts, and it's been a long time coming. So this is a guy who's gone through a similar stuff where she's gone into people's lives, said people are her ex-boyfriends, and they beat her up and done all this stuff. This is not the first time she's done it. She's done it on many occasions. She did it because she wanted views and clout, a few gifts. I think she used to look up to EQ, and she's psychologically not right. Wayne will tell you that after. She's been debunked many times. It's not the first time she's done it. But when EQ's airing it in her box and people are like, oh my God, this Ricksta, and when it ain't true, then making me look like an idiot, then I've got no choice but to put people in here to tell the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? But let's just play this anyway. It says, I'll provide receipts, and it's been a long time coming. This is a guy called Danny Boy, who reached out to me 2 years ago to let me know exactly what KJ done to him, right? In 2020, I was the victim of a vile human. She destroyed me mentally, and I've stayed silent for years and moved on. But now people are speaking out. I think it's time to share awareness and my story to people. So this is about KJ. Let's play. This is how she managed to lure me to her house. She lied about being attacked and abused with her and her daughter. I was commonly homeless and vulnerable, which led me to go there. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Now, this is the truth of how I got there. She scammed her friend over £280 for an Uber and made out she was paying it for it, then made out to people behind my back I was a bad person, which led to threats and people turning up at her house for me arriving, voice notes and dates to follow. So keep listening. This is this KJ that wanted to turn around and said that she was my ex-girlfriend. It's been going around the app. This is, hey, Danny, you with Kelly, those Uber needs to be paid, etc. in my name. If I don't pay, I take to debt company. This is a girl basically saying, right, that she's got an Uber. She got ripped off by this Kelly. It's not the first time Kelly ripped people off. She done it to that vulnerable guy who was yeah, I'm not going to mention his name because Wayne said to say his name's Liam. Let's say that she took a lot of money off him. But we'll keep playing it. Hang on. It's proven a character as a person. Hang on, look at this. And tell me your details of the Uber, rah, rah, rah. I know I ain't lost out, but it still needs to be paying my name. Right. The girl is an effing weirdo, full on lying. Never known anyone like her, selfish bee. Do you know what I mean?
Passed on to a debt company. I phoned Uber. They said it's in my name. It will get passed on to a debt company, and I've got my bank details, not just hers on there. Not just hers. Hers will be declined. I've tried to take the money from obviously Uber to her, and they said it's been declined because she's obviously cancelled a fucking card. She thinks I'm fucking stupid.
So this is the guy, obviously, she did it to. Well, it gets a little bit more deeper now. So hang on, it says here. Now she claims I was with her for a year. So this guy, she said that she was with him for a year, right? So it's like I said, this is a trait. She does it all the time. For a year, check the dates. April the 23rd, 2020. I knew her and met, but by the end of July, I'd never seen her again for 3 months. I was there for 1 week only. Again, I could provide receipts. Then I went again end of May for 3 days. There once in May and July for 2 days to collect my stuff. That's when I was hospitalised and never seen her again. Proof to follow. So she's been saying that she met this guy with him for a long period of time. This is the guy. On April the 23rd, 20th, this is me in KJ's garden. Date's right there and a picture to follow to prove it's her garden. This is the guy she abused, and I think she sent him mad, to be fair, but I'll carry on.
I'm not being.
So this is from someone who knows her, warning me to get away from there. So this is a guy who knows this KJ really well. He's telling her to get away, getting away from there because she's trouble. I couldn't respond because she was trying to smash my phone up when I wanted to leave. May 2020, I was led back up there for a further 3 days when she yet again lied and had more stuff, which I tried arranging for collection numerous times, as you'll see in the end clip with her mum. So this is a trait, guy.
I've known the girl for a few years now, and all she's ever done is compulsive lie to herself. She's a compulsive liar, bro.
Just get the fuck out of there and go home, man. Don't ever go back there. She's a fucking nightmare.
She run. Hang on. As you say, she turned up at an agency event in London and ruined my future work for me by accusing me of four false allegations and said she'd lost our baby, which never happened. So she turned around and said that she'd lost this man's child, and she never did. This person's like more than deluded. As you say, she said stuff about me. Do you know what I'm saying? She's just crazy. So this is KJ now messaging this guy. But please, I ever think of me as the crazy, obsessive, horrible girl, because I'm not. I'm just a girl who fell in love. Um, you always said you'd. Well, I don't know that one. Thank you. Take care, Kelly. And if you would have done anything, you would have helped me. But anyway, that's, I don't know. The FYPers can get that tomorrow. I can't be bothered to read that. I've never been so desperate to talk to someone in my life. This is back to this guy again. I haven't been like to hurt you. I'm so desperate to not to lose you. I guess right. Everyone's like that. Stay away. He'll come back, and I'm gone. Let's play. So this guy again. His name's Danny Boy, by the way. Danny. We wasn't together, or she wasn't even pregnant. So they weren't together, and she weren't pregnant. It was a way to get me to react, and by mentally push me over by contacting all my friends, making up lies to ruin everything I built up during COVID and being homeless. So she went after this guy, said she was pregnant. She weren't even pregnant, and then started contacting people about him, said he'd done this and that, and he never. Do you understand what I'm saying? She just made up fabrication.
Before you even went to her house, she's there messaging me going about ask Danny what he thinks about me. So if it was really a fake account, why would we be doing that? Why would we personally message ourselves, pretending to be Kelly, asking how you feel about her? Like, she's just so fucking deluded. Like, we've actually got no reason to even try and come in between yous at all. Like, you'll do whatever you do and you're your own fucking person. Obviously,
These are different people at the time I never met or knew, telling me and giving me those signs she's dangerous. I listened and luckily escaped. So please, guys, listen to people who have evidence against her to protect further people down the line. So these people reaching out to this Danny say, stay away, she's a compulsive liar. She said she was pregnant off him, she wasn't. She was making up lies about him, it wasn't true. She went to London at an event, tried to ruin him, made up allegations about him because she's what she's like mentally. Exactly that. But she hasn't just done this to this Danny boy. She's then saying stuff that she'd met me in person. She was an ex-girlfriend of mine. Made up fabrication. Said I had a brother called Craig. Wayne in the box, who's going to talk after this live. He's going to let you know he was one of her bestest friends. So Wayne knows her better than anyone. And he's going to tell you all about her, right? So I met Wayne on TikTok and he was abusing me. He was calling me names. He called me, and I said, Wayne, I don't even know this person. I said, she used to work for my company back in the day. She'd been to a charity event. That's all I said. So when people turn around and said, oh, you said you never, that's a lie. I never said that. I said she worked for me because I turned around and said she accused someone of rape. And I said that back then. So when people are saying that's fabricated and that and true. Anyway, let's get to the rest of this.
just warning you. That's purely
He's
all
been
it
warned
is.
that.
For her to believe the fact that she hasn't written that and that's a fake account is just.
It is when somebody's lying. You know what I mean? Hey guys, can everyone get mute all these people who are trying to come in the trolls, please?
It genuinely
I don't want
is.
anybody saying anything bad about
Mind-baffling,
Wayne
and it's
either in the
just
boxes.
like, when will you actually just admit that you are in the wrong for once? Do you know what I mean? It's like she just wants people to feel sorry for her. And that's what she's doing. She's going out of her way to make people feel sorry for her. When in total honesty, she's the fucking person that has caused all of this. She's the most evilest person ever. And for her to swear
Bit of a
down on
nasty
her son's
person, Mummy and
life,
wife,
that is
aren't you?
disgusting. And like, especially for us, because
Sick you are.
we know that she is lying. We know that was her, 100%. And I just can't. I'm just like, whoa. Stay away, mate. Stay well away. If I was.
Anyway. There you go.
We know that was her, 100%. And I just can't. I'm just like, whoa. Stay away, mate. Stay well away. If I was.
Accusing more people on social media that people are not the M word and peddlers, ruining families. Good lads, stay away, hang on. That CUNT tomorrow has added my ex and my kids into a chat saying Oma NONCE and that bitch. So this Kelly's gone into people's chats and is calling these people peds and all these other names. I need to tell you my ex all about and what she's like, see what happens first. So she's going in people's lives, calling people all these horrible names, derogative, and I mean, and people are like, why? Because it's not true, it's all made up out of thin air. And that woman who's just coming here and said that, what's your name? Please get in my box after. Come into my box, mummy and wife on Morn. I want you to come in and say that to me. All right, because I rare your account on here after. This is me actually locked in her room, trying to stay my distance and planning on getting home. But before you turn around and say this is a man, this was a vulnerable man. He was homeless, right? You know what I mean? Wayne probably knows about Danny Boy. I don't know, but he was homeless and he was very vulnerable, and he ended up in hospital because of what was happening to him. Do you understand? This is really, really bad. Like I said, I got this 2 years ago to know what she was like mentally anyway. But I was also getting messages when she was talking about me, making up these rumours. Had to. Hang on.
She's the most evilest person ever. And for her to swear down on her son's life, that is disgusting. And, like, especially for us, because we know that she is lying. We know that was her, 100%. And I just can't, I'm just like, whoa. Stay away, mate. Stay well away.
Hey, Mods, can you be on form, please? Had to hint to people jokey ways what was happening in case she found out. She went psycho on me. She's the one who smashed up the room. You get what I mean? Hang on, what's this? This is me 2 days after being locked in her room and trying to escape. He must the hospital after being attacked by wanting to go home. So he wanted to go home and he was being attacked by her. He attacked me a few times. Anyway, she said he attacked her a few times. I had broken ribs, swollen sides, and a few lumps where she threw stuff at me. Proof will soon be provided. Her neighbour helped me various times. She smashed my laptop, controlled me, smashed my phone, scammed so many people again. I come with receipts, so I'm going to dig even further so you can all see the real KJ. So that's him in hospital after being attacked by KJ.
Thank you.
This is her anyway, shaming more vulnerable people online and threatening panels. Listen.
Oversized fucking whale. I know you're fucking in here as well, so you jump up. You dirty little scat. Get you all up. Get you all fucking up.
You understand what I mean? And what's he saying here? This is the whole convo with her mum. So this is KJ's mother that he's speaking to with her mum and me. She proves she scams people and me. She tried saying I owed her money for buying me clothes and a train ticket, which was never asked or wanted by myself. Then she never responded in the end after providing all the proof I needed. Pause. It's as you read along. She uses her mum and dad for money and constantly causing trouble and ruining people by compulsive lying. She's a compulsive liar, and this is him saying it like it says they're compulsive lying. And the last message by her mum was ignored and I was blocked. She still to this day owes all that money shown in the chat, so she owes this money. So there you go. That's messages between him and the mom. So no, it's not what you need to do. And what time did they go? So if anyone wants to take screenshots of this recordings, please do it. All right, so this is between him and the mom. I think it's the mom. Is it the mom? It's a bit fast, isn't it? Like I said, guys, I've got loads of stuff here. You know what I mean? This is him.
Hey mate, just a quick update. I've just come across my old hard drive from my laptop, which I was using when I was at KJ's, and also my old phone number, which I should have messages in that old video. So I'm going to get through these, mate. Nobody will go through this much hassle if there was not telling the truth, you know what I mean? So I'm determined to find it, bro. So, nice one again, mate.
Yeah, what's going on with the mods? So, guys, this is her again, mocking someone who's had a. Not that it matters, because I'm talking about a lawyer shit, but this is the.
Your shit, you're now going to start on me because I won't sit here and rise to your shit. That you had a miscarriage. Funny. I'm not being funny. You had a miscarriage.
Yeah, what she said.
That you had a miscarriage. Funny. Because I won't sit here and rise to your shit. That you had a miscarriage.
This person gets 3 or 6 views. She never gets any views. She talked about me for ages. She's got a few hundred views for a couple of weeks. EQ aired her, and then I should die out again of views, but she's done this for the last 3 years about me. So this is the KJ talking about. These are the messages from Danny Boy. This is Danny Boy. This is the guy she abused him in hospital. This is the guy. This is her messages to him. This is the messages to me back then. Who he is. There's so much there from her to him. He sent me loads. I don't know if he's still around. Maybe one day he comes in and talks about her himself. Just a little bit of who she is, guys. This is him, Danny Boy Official. Just to say, I'm also a victim of KJ. She's telling lies about me, and he reached out back then and provided all them evidence. Anyway, guys, I'm going to unmute. I want to mute Wayne. He's going to tell you guys how we met, tell you a little bit more insight on KJ. All right, that's what I'm going to do. How you doing, Wayne?
I'm all good, bro. Thanks for leaving me hanging like that.
Sorry, mate. I just wanted to give these people a little insight about this absolute raving lunatic. I'm going to let you do the talking, mate. I'm going to let you know these people know how you how we met, how it went on, the messages from you and the evil one, and from there.
Yeah.
So I'm literally going to grab a little drink, mate, and I'm going to let you start. Is that okay?
Well, yeah, cool. Do you want me to just go for it, yeah?
Go for it, mate, please, yeah. Go for it, and I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm just grabbing a drink.
All right, this is how the story goes, and I'm going to keep it quite simple. I got connected with KJ when I first joined TikTok about 4 years ago, and we became really close friends. We became that close. I'm also quite close with the cousin Dale as well, so family members. But yeah, we was good. We was good friends, and we sort of. Well, I thought we had a lot in common. Little did I know I was being sort of gaslighted at the time, but I was quite happy with that because, I was going through a bad patch myself. But then she started introducing a little stories that started falling apart over time, and one of those was the whole Ricksta, how she was in a relationship with him, and how he broke her eye socket, and how she was doing things in the office when his wife used to bring his sandwiches. It's all bullshit. She does this every year to Ricksta. It's just like a bit of a rinse and repeat thing with KJ. She never dated him. No, she didn't date him. She admitted that she never dated him to me. It weren't just me she admitted that to, so you might think it's just me against KJ. No, there was about 4 or 5 of us. She's actually told that she was seeing him, then she finally admitted that she wasn't. Yeah, Ricky did meet with her. Of course he did. She worked in his office. It's just that, and that's all it was. So the old fucking relationship thing is bollocks. That black eye though is it's Joe. That black eye isn't anything to do with Ricksta. What she did, she had a little bit of an affair with this guy, and she went out on a night out in Coventry, and the guy's woman got hold of her and clocked her on because she found out KJ was knocking him off, even though, it should have been him to fucking put his hands up, but the woman got hold of her and clocked her in the face, and that's where she got the black eye. And when this all came about what she was accusing Ricksta of, myself and Ricky would tell you, myself and I think a couple of others, we went in hard on Ricky. I went in after you heavy dinner, bro. Absolutely fucking heavy.
You could say that, Wayne.
I was going to rip his fucking head off. You know what I mean? Because this was my friend that I believed was telling the truth. Do you know what I mean? So of course I'm going to be protective of her. but they all turned out to be bullshit. Every single bit of everything that she says lies. She was never kidnapped. She told us that one of Ricksta's colleagues raped her. Ricky, I just can't tell you how many
I'll
lies she
give you a
told.
little bit of a feedback what she said. She turned around and said one of the colleagues raped her. She
Yeah.
turned around and said, I had a brother called Craig.
Yeah.
You know now I haven't got a brother called Craig.
Exactly.
She turned around and says that I'd give her a black... Well, she never said that. She said I hit her in the arm, fractured her eye socket, put her in
Which is a
hospital because I
lie.
was with her, and then my brother
Yeah.
took the charges and went to prison. His name was
Which is,
Craig.
well, that's
I mean,
a
name
lie.
is Joey. Sorry.
I've just said that to people in your people in your
Thank
chat
you,
or
Dave.
in the comments. It was a girl on a night out in Coventry who got hold of her because she found out that KJ was knocking off her husband behind her back. So this woman got hold of her and clocked her one. That's where she got that black eye from. It's got fuck all to do with you. It's to do with her cheating with the guy and the woman got hold of her. And that's exactly where she got that black eye from. She's such a liar.
How long was you friends, so the people know? How long was you friends with KJ for? How long was you mates, you and her?
Oh, a while. But I started. I'm not
getting to get any brownie points beating Corey Wilde up. Thank you, Maggie. I wouldn't get any brownie points beating him up. I wouldn't get any brownie points beating up somebody who sends his mother to the front door and hides behind his curtains upstairs. I wouldn't. And as for the evil one, do you know what I'm saying to you? What gratification would have got doing anything to her? However I gender her. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it's enough now. Nobody's playing games anymore. It ain't about knocking anybody's door. It isn't. Okay, things too much. Things are way, way too much. Who wanted to get my bongs? My bongs? Who wants to get in my bongs? What the hell? Everyone think I smoke something. A bong? I don't smoke. Anyway, who wants to get in my box? Who wanted to talk about... Anybody know KJ? You know Michaela. Anyone know KJ? Come in and let me know. Yeah, it's on a backup account. There you go. If you know I could jump in. Oh, let me answer this phone. Who wanted to get in my box? Somebody wanted to get in my box. What's this?
That have said the worst, and I mean, there's people.
You're mad turning up at a woman's house, though. You're mad. Listen, Northie. I turn up at men's houses and a woman's house. Yeah. I never turn up with a balaclava on and I never turn up with an army. I turn up on my own to talk because I'd had enough. Like I said, I was very pleasant and polite. I said, I will never be knocking them people's door ever again. Ever. And you'd rather have me knock your door in a peaceful manner. Yes, yeah, two men, Corey and Levi. It makes no difference if I had 50 men with me. I had a driver. So what do you want me to do? Sin. That's it. I'd face any man on my own. Stuff to do. Any man on my own. Like I said, if I wanted to do something, I wouldn't have gone to doors with cameras, knowing there's cameras on the houses, would I? Of course I wouldn't. I'm not stupid. I wasn't there to talk. It's simple as that. Anyway, who wanted to jump in? Why did you go? Well, if you never watched my live earlier on, then I'm not going to repeat myself. Everybody knows why I went there. Why are you mod, Danny? Let me know. I'm not going to repeat myself. Anyway, get a crab in. Drop your crabs. Yeah, there you go. Let's listen to this.
This app that have said awful things.
Yeah, your cousin.
Into it.
Your cousin, Luke.
Hey guys, everyone follow this account.
Today that you didn't call out your cousin for his homophobic attack towards me. You didn't call out your cousin.
I went 4.5 hour drive. I went, and like I turned around and said earlier on, when people turn out your door with kids there, and old women, vulnerable women, and vulnerable ladies, to be fair, who've been through it, then, like I said, gloves are off. But like I said, I went there to talk. I'm not going to keep repeating myself, right? Because from now on, I'm not doing anything on TikTok. I'm not saying anything, I'm not doing anything, and that's it. Yeah, Pikachu, it took me 4.5 hours. Understand, I drove a long way, and that's how long it took.
At all, did you? No.
It's homophobic, transphobic, yeah?
Big up Brooke for the hand heart.
I think if you...
You're quite happy to tell me to send flowers to somebody because apparently...
Listen, look, let me just say to everyone here, a lot of you people would have done an awful lot worse. You would have done definitely, Marge. When your child's being mocked, the loss of a child, when your missus, girlfriend's being persecuted, and when a job's constantly rang, and the charities rang that she works for, and then people are putting addresses online, when you've told her that a vulnerable nan lives there who's 80, and there's kids at one of the other addresses, one's got autism, and then people are turning up saying, can I have a picture? And she's not there, then, like I said, gloves are off. There's a lot of you people out there who would do a lot worse. I've been very pleasant. I'm not a fool. I'm not an idiot. All right. And anybody who keeps talking about me on here, I'd stand on you and I'd come and do this. You do fuck all. You'll do fuck all. All right. And I heard somebody say earlier, well, Rick said this, I'll turn. You would never fucking turn up where I am. You'd never turn up in Birmingham and come to me in front of me. I'm telling you now, you wouldn't. If you give it the big end, I don't care who you fucking are, how bad you think you are, you wouldn't do it. That's all I'm saying to you. So don't come on bearing my name and then saying, I'll come in front of you, Rickster. No, you wouldn't. No, you would not. And if you did, you'd got to have a massive pair of big cojones. And everyone's saying to you, you went down to think, what do you want me to do? Kick Corey's door off and beat him up? You know what I mean? Nah, what, kick Evil Queen's door off and do what? And do what? Do you understand? I went down there for a talk and that's it. They never answered the door. It's as simple as that. But they still know I went down to talk and it's simple. I'm not going to be doing it again. It's the end of it. All right. But when you're doxing people's addresses, continuously slagging people off, keep speaking about children, keep speaking about children in sick, derogatory ways, then at the end of the day, there's no more TikTok for me. There's no more TikTok. There's no more. There's FYP shows. Is the crack. You can have a laugh. You can talk about people who do right and wrong on TikTok. But when you keep going, and then when people are going to get seriously hurt, because when people knock somebody's house, when a man knocked the door the other day and a child answered, well, how do you know that man's not a psychopath? How do you know he's not an ex-partner of somebody who's been through DV and he's come back to hurt her and the kids in front of him? You wouldn't know when these addresses are being docked. Do you understand? You ain't seen Talia dox anybody's address. What addresses has Talia doxed? Not one. Nothing, none. But she was a persecuted and attacked, continuously attacked. Like I said, it was the last straw when you got told there's vulnerable old people there and kids there, and you go on then and say, da, 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 there's the address. Go on, everybody. And then things happen. I know men, right? I don't know about you. I know men, right, who are fuming. I know men who literally would have went through that front door. They wouldn't have cared about police. They would have went through in balaclavas with brothers and sisters, gangs, well, not sisters, friends, and done horrible stuff. They wouldn't have cared about the police. They probably would never have got caught anyway. And they wouldn't have cared about anything. They would have went straight through that front door for what they've been saying and what they've been doing. And they won't do nothing. No, they will do something. That's exactly what they will do. I never. I walked away because I just wanted a nice, polite chat to say it ends now. It stops. And I don't anymore. And like I said to everyone, I will never be knocking any door ever again. There'll be no more knocks from me. I went knowing there was cameras there. I went there to chat. So I never hid myself. My face was not hidden. My face was on show for everybody to see. Remember that. And that's what people are saying, but Rickster, you went there at 12 o'clock tonight. It took me 4.5 hours to get there. Person goes live at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, continuously. And people call me a liar. Do you understand what I mean? Call me a liar. She's an FYP host. She does shows to AM. Sometimes that's their nights. So it's not my fault time I landed there. I went straight from one area to another area because I'd had enough. And when kids are put in danger and kids are jeopardised when they haven't got kids themselves, then, like I said, all bets are off. I care for my own, and so do most of you guys. So do most of you guys. No, she's not a paramedic at all. That's another lie. Don't know where Wayne is. Like I said, you take the notice of these people. Kelly, it makes no difference Your man got asked to come to the door. He didn't come to the door. I went back and told him to come down, stop being a sausage, and he didn't do it. End of story. Nobody kicked the door. No windows were smashed. No cars were smashed up. People never went round and smashed all the windows on the house. None of that happened. He could have, but he didn't. All right. It didn't. So, like I said, I think after what's been said about Talia and me for the last few weeks and all the mockings and all the lies and people jumping in boxes and saying Ricksta done this to me and then it's been aired and it ain't true, and what's happened to Talia and a grandmother and people turning up with a kid there, then I think I'm in every right to tell those people to stop, especially when the law themselves are taking their time and dragging their feet to tell people. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And the amount of stuff I've got and people saying all the horrible stuff, I'll get well if I ever see you and I want to stab you and I'll stab you. Like, the things I've got are unreal. You've never turned around and heard me say I'm going to stab anyone. Never. You've never heard me say that on TikTok. But I tell you a creator who has said I'll stab people and beat people up. I've said it to men. I said, if I see you, let's get it on. But I ain't said it to, I've said to men, I'll rip your arms and legs off. I've said that. But like I said, when you're doxing addresses, it's different. And go. You are Henry Hoover. You're embarrassing. I think I was very polite. Very polite. Hey, Levi, right? Let me just say something to you now, big boy, because you hid behind the curtain. You did it behind the curtain. You come round, you looked, and you hid like a little coward you are, mate. I've told you, right, and I'll tell you again, this TikTok's done with me, bro. When I've mentioned your name today, I'll never mention your name again. I know you're holding me up your girlfriend's skirt, mate, but you've gone too far. I'm not saying one more word to you, all right? One more word to you. Like I said, you're not liked. You've made an awful lot of enemies, massive amounts of enemies, massive amount of enemies. And I'm not going to say one more word about you again. I'm not going to mention your name, and that's it. You're a coward. You are a coward, mate. Your mum answered the door for you. I called you down. You looked at me. I called you a sausage. You're an absolute little. You were a div. Div. Do you think I'd let my mum answer the door, bro? I would have went out with a big metal bar if there was a few people. I would have broke them all round the road. Every one of them would have got done in. I would have done them all. I would have done it all and cared. You didn't, bro. You'd be on your curtain like a little coward. You're a coward, mate. All right, don't come in here giving it the big one on your little obviously account now. Oh, Ricksta, I've got the clip. You've got no clips. You got no clips. Listen, sausage, right? I'm not gonna let you come in and mouth off, you little sausage, bro. You're a little sausage. You had your opportunity to speak to me as a man to man, and you didn't. You chose not to. You're a coward, mate, so don't try and man up to me now. Like I said, from today, on my mother's ashes, on my daughter's life, your name, you little cretin, will never come off my lips again. And I will never, ever, ever turn up at your house again. Ever. Also, when EQ eggs people on to send people to CLA's women on, exactly. And people have gone to Miss Reds and egged Derwin and egged people on to go there. Do you know what I mean? No, they didn't, Katrina. Levi hid behind his mother. Levi looked at me from the window and absolute shit his pants like a little coward. He said he was eating pasta. He was eating nothing. On my mother's ashes, my Jesus Christ dropped me dead, and he never lets me into the gate of heaven. That man looked at me at the curtain, looked at me and shit himself, and he got behind the curtain. That's my mother's life. All right, he's a coward. All right, I don't want to talk about him. He's a little sausage. He's a little div. He's the kind of person to come in the box and say, yeah, give it the beef, right, and then think, oh, I'm not even going to say anything, right. Mention my child again. Mention my missus again. Carry on doing it. I'm saying no more. I've had enough. I'm saying no more. Keyboard warriors. I'm meeting no one. Louise. I've got one thing to say to you, Louise.
Slag.
There you go.
Anyway, so because I apparently was homophobic to somebody, you wanted me to send them flowers, but you wasn't going to call out your blood cousin.
Hey guys, get your heart meter bracelets in.
Ricksta. But he wasn't going to call out his cousin for his homophobic attack on me, and also he's done it 3 nights consecutively.
You're a transphobe. You're a transphobe, Corey. Let's be honest.
Luke, not just the once. He's done it for the past 3 nights. Last night he said, in not so uncertain terms, that he wants me to get arrested with him, drop the soap for him, and lick his feet clean.
Listen, let's get one thing straight. I did turn around and say, you dropped the soap for me and you will lick my feet. What I turned around and said, Corey, we'll be handcuffed together going into the prison cell, yeah, and I'd make you massage my feet, mate, because I'd be king of the cell. That's what I said. Not that it'd make you lick my feet. Big up, Miss HMC. Thank you for that. I turned around and said, yeah, you'll massage my feet. See, and you would be, if you was locked up in my prison pad, you'd be the cleaner, you'd be the tea boy, you'd be massaging my feet, whatever I told you to do. You'd be cleaning the pads, my mate's pads, you know what I mean? And I'd be keeping all your canteen every week. When your canteen got sent in your postal order, I'd be keeping all your postal order to myself and I'd feed you the crumbs. You'd get 1 tea bag a week and all my washing would be done too. It's facts. That's facts, Corey. It's facts, Corey.
Because I like that.
You and your mate Levi, you'd be cleaning my pad and doing things. As for Levi, we're doing everybody's. He'd be the gopher. He would. He'd be running through people's cells, doing as he's told, mopping the floors, cleaning pads. I'll keep your canteen as well, Levi. I'll keep all yours. You're another coward as well, mate. Mommy, fucking mommy, man. I wouldn't give a fuck if there was 50 men outside, man. There's no person turning up, and I'm not letting my mum answer the door. Anxiety or not.
That. So Luke haven't called out.
Just to say, out of everyone, guys, I would not have done anything to Corey. I would never have hurt Corey. On my mother's ashes, I wouldn't have, just to let you all know. Okay? I would have seen him, I would have spoke to him, and I would have told him that. And I'll be honest with you, that's would have been it. Exactly the same with the EQ one. 100%. I'm not going to hurt her. True. Him, Levi, different story. He's a geezer who's been speaking about my bird. You know what I mean? It would have been a different game if he would have come outside. It would have been a different game for that geezer. You know what I mean? I would have told him to stop. I would have told him to apologise, which he hasn't done. She won't come outside, and then he would have been game on. But like I said, I'm not playing any more games with him. I've given him the opportunity to apologise. I've given him the opportunity to stop this and go on about my missus. And he's turned around and said, fuck you, Ricky. I don't give a fuck. I'll do whatever I want on TikTok. Your missus is this, your missus is that. And I'm going to continue talking about your dead child. I'm going to keep talking about you. That's what Corey said. Levi. That's what Levi said. I don't care about you. Then he's coming out, I've got video cameras, and he's, listen, who are you trying to prove to? You're a coward. You hid behind your mom. You're an absolute sausage. You got called a sausage and you hid behind the curtain. That's exactly what happened. That's on my mother's ashes, man. God strike me down dead. That's exactly what happened to you. You hid behind the curtain. And I was on my own then. I was on my own. The car was parked down the road. There were just me. I didn't need anybody to fight my battles, not one person.
His own cousin, but Brooks is his cousin, yeah. He didn't attack on me, and also he's done it 3 nights consecutively, Luke, not just the once.
Hey, Gaz, can you unmute Cherry Aid, please? You've probably done it by accident. She follows me every day. Big up, me shape, Maggie.
He's done it for the past 3 nights. Last night he said, in not so uncertain terms, that he wants me to get arrested with him, drop the soap for him, and lick his feet clean.
Do you know what? A lot's been said, a lot of lies have been told, and addresses are doxed. I haven't doxed nobody's address. You know what I mean? Nobody's address has been doxed, not unless it's on TikTok. It's on TikTok. Okay. Sophie Cokie Bailey has, and everybody else, and absolutely persecuting my girlfriend, man. There's men and women in here now who have done 100 times worse than me. They would have literally went through the front door. Right, be honest with you guys, right? I want you to, I'm doing a poll, and I want you to be fucking perfectly honest, right? Was I right to knock their door to tell him to stop? Because he wants to stop. I never went through the door, didn't put any windows through, never smashed up any cars, didn't threaten to kill anyone. Yeah, I called Corey Chunky Bum. He said I called him a BND. I know I didn't. That's lies. Tell him to play. He's lying. He cannot play. Didn't happen. He can try and convince his audience that it happened, but until you prove it, mate, you know that you're lying. So that didn't get said. So I want to know, did I do the right thing to shut these people up after a man turned up at the door with a vulnerable old lady and a young kid with autism, right? And I wanted to end it. Fucking leave it now. Stop it there and then. Because nobody was going to get hurt. I wasn't going to beat anyone up. I wasn't going to hurt Chelsea Harwood or beat up bloody Corey. I'm not saying anything about the other geezer. So was I right to try and end it? Right? Or was I wrong for turning up? I want to know. Because people turn up at addresses that I'm related to. People have turned up to my stepfather's address. No one's ever turned up to their address. Not from my end anyway, but they have from my other end. So I want to know. Smiley faces, you would have done the same and turned up to have a word. Sad faces, I'm in the wrong. Smiley faces, I'm in the right. Sad faces, I'm in the wrong. And just be honest. Smiley faces in the wrong. Smiley faces in the right. Sad faces in the wrong. And I want everyone to vote. Smiley faces in the right. Sad faces in the wrong. Keep voting, guys. Smiley faces in the right. Sad faces in the wrong. There's faces at the bottom, guys. See the two smiley faces? The smiley face is in the right. You just press that, and the sad face in the wrong. If you don't, you're all getting muted. I'm going on sub chat only. Come on. Let's go. 20 seconds to go. Keep voting. There you go, guys. Most of you think I'm in the wrong for going to the house. Most of you think that I'm wrong. But you've got to understand, yeah, until you're put in a situation, right, where your kid's being spoken about, the loss of your child, your girlfriend every single day, they keep mocking you and slandering you and putting you and making up lies, and you're being called a domestic abuser, they get people in your box to tell lies about you and carry on. Then, you know what I mean? I think that's a very tricky question. Some of you are going, no, straight to the authorities. You know what I mean? But some of you are telling you now would act a lot different to what I did. No, it didn't backfire, Shaz. It didn't backfire. I didn't think people agree, people don't agree. I just turn around and said the majority. Do you know what I mean? I did what I had to do. None of you have been persecuted or gone through what I've gone through. Not one of people. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I went there humbly. I went there humbly to talk. That's it. I said a few things to Corey, but that's it. Couldn't vote, as I agree, in one way, but not in another. Why? I told you, man, it took me 4.5 hours to get there. I'm not going to answer that question again. Should have gone on your own, Kinchy. Listen, it makes no difference if I took an army of men or 1,000 men. Right? Nobody's going to do anything. Nobody's going to do anything. No one's going to beat Corey up, or no one's going to do anything. That's it. All right. It's as simple as that. Absolutely nobody knows till it happens to them. Exactly. I said, until you put under the car. I know there's men in here now. I know there's men in here, and probably ladies, who would have turned up at their door, probably smashed the car up, smashed the windows up. You've mentioned the loss of my child. You persecuted my wife. You persecuted my husband. Well, I've had a miscarriage, and it's all down to you. And you've my kid. Somebody turned up the address where my child and my grandmother was, and you've doxed their address. You would have went through the door and done horrible stuff. You know what I mean? Raining in a freezing cold day. Listen, if somebody drives or somebody's got something on, they'd have a balaclava on. I would have went with a hood on or something. Stop being silly. Stop being silly. Do you think that I do not know that Chelsea Harwood's camera it's like Fort Knox? Are you crazy? Of course I do. I did. Of course. Do you think I don't know Corey in the middle of the day, on the afternoon, on a street, and he's got cameras, and the first thing you do when you go to the door and see the ring doorbell, like, you know it's there. Why did you cover your hands? Don't know. Did I? To lose fingerprints off a door, off a door. Is it when I've got when I'm on camera and there's a ring doorbell right in front of you? The ring doorbell's massive. It's right in front of you, as you say. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't hiding anything. Not yet, whatsoever. So listen, I haven't earned my petrol money back yet, guys, Mrs. Whatsoever. So please, guys, get the crabs in, if you don't mind. He's right. Mr. Whatsoever, can you drop me a crab, please? Because I need to earn my petrol money. You're right. Thanks for reminding me. Right, people want to get in the chat. People want to get in. Do you reckon I'm getting told by my mum? Lots of trolls. Yeah, we don't care. Every single person. No, you can't troll me because it's on something. Yeah, let me know. Someone's been begging me to get in the box. Come on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Rick, quick question. Why did you go there then with other blokes with gloves on and you was rolling your sleeves up and checking the door handles if you weren't going to do nothing?
Number one, I never went there with blokes, so that's fabricated. Right, let's just do that. And number two, I don't pick what people wear. Like I said, I went there barefaced. That's it. I went there barefaced, and if I was going to do something, I'd have a balaclava, and I would have went through the fucking door. You know, I would have knocked the door. Right, never said anything, and then walked off. I would have done something. I would have kicked. I'm a big lad. I'm 15 and a half stone. I'm 6 foot.
Yeah,
I
but
would have
that's irrelevant. But what I'm
Mate,
saying
what
is,
it is,
why
I'm
did
not
you
saying
check
if
the
I
door
went there to
handle?
do, I would have done it. If I went there, I'm not a talker. If I would have went there to do something, it would have been done. It would have been done. I would have went through the
But
door.
why check the door handles? If you weren't there to do anything, you was there to be humble.
But what check the door handles? There's patios. Check the door and did I lean on the door handle? That's it. I leaned on the door handle, maybe to say hello. But did I go in the house? Did I break any windows to get in? No, I didn't. That's it.
No, because I think that never happened because obviously there was cameras on all the properties you went to. All three of them you went to.
I knew there was cameras. I knew there was cameras.
Listen, I think if you was going to go there to be humble, to have a conversation,
I was humble.
but for one, you wouldn't turn up there at midnight at one of them.
It took me 4.5 hours to get there. You're not listening, Harley, are you? 4.5 hours it took me to get there.
It took me 4.5 hours to get to Manchester yesterday and all driving a lorry.
No, listen.
What I'm saying
I was in Surrey. Oh, fuck off. There you go. You're not going to listen, you absolute sausage, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm more than welcome to turn up to yours, mate, and meet you outside your fence, and you can talk to me. No problem. You're local to me as well, pal. You're local to me, big man. So if you want to talk to me like that, and you just want to knock your door, you can come out and see me like a man, can't you? Harley, you're in here. I'll tell you what, if you want to come back in my box, Harley, I'll let you back in, but come on camera and look at me man to man in the eye. All right. I've turned around and told you, right, if I went to somebody's house to do them something, right, I would have went through that fucking door regardless. Do you know what I mean? Regardless if I felt a door handle or not, I would have went, hello, is anybody home? Do you know what I mean? That's about it. Is anybody there? I wouldn't have walked into somebody's property. I wouldn't have done. I never did. I wouldn't have done it barefaced. So there you go.
Hello, Ricksta. Not so bad. How are you?
Yeah. So you've seen the Chaos Martin. You've known me for a while. How you doing, mate?
Not so bad. I wouldn't give these fucking idiots the time of the day.
Thank you, Daisy. Yeah, I know, Martin. I know, mate. It's like a turned around and said, Martin, I don't know about you as a gentleman. I don't know what you would have done if been in my shoes. But if you had, I want to answer you. Look, I've asked everyone else the same question, but I want to ask you this question. If you don't mind giving me an honest answer, I'd appreciate it. You get whatever answer you is, I accept it, right? But I want to look at it from my point of view, and I don't want you to defend me. I don't want you to stick. I don't. So I want you to say what you would do as a gentleman, right? If you was on this app, right, and you had a girlfriend, say she was a little bit in the media, and you had she was pregnant, and that child got lost.
Let me just stop you there, please. I don't want you to explain everything about this, right? I've been through it. It is heartbreaking. You know, it was 20 odd, no, it'd be maybe 30 years ago now. You know, it's heartbreaking for idiots to come out with the comments that they've come out with. You know, obviously, Squeaky Ass, the Welsh one, that's just a fucking idiot. How you haven't actually physically punched his face right in, I don't know. Because it wouldn't stop me. I would have to do it.
Thank you for being honest.
He's just an idiot.
Thank you for being honest.
You know, I was fuming listening to some of the stuff he was saying, you know, on the FYP. And I thought, how the fuck You know, you don't know whether you're male or female, and people can say that I'm homophobic or whatever they want to say. How could you say about a woman that's gone through something like that? It's just, you know, not just tell you, you know, yourself.
Mm.
People think, oh, he's a man, it doesn't bother him.
Mm.
You know, it's fucking heartbreaking. Sorry
It
for
really
swearing,
is.
guys.
It really is. It really is. Especially when you're
You know,
looking forward to it as well, and you're seeing your partner in hysterics and crying, and be persecuted through the app, and then people say, "Oh, you brought it to the app." No, I brought it to the app. I said it to CLA. I mentioned that she was very poorly. It was me who brought it, and then everybody else used that against me to get to, well, use it against me to get to me through her. They did it themselves. They're the ones who started playing Bye Bye Baby, hitting dolls, laughing, giggling, mocking, and thought it was funny over the loss of the child. And Talia took her emotions of the loss and obviously maybe got a little bit too deep. Thank you, Belinda. Got a little bit too deep into the app, right?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And to literally, I'll be honest with you, Martin, this is the truth. I think Talia herself, and after talking to her, took everything she was going through mentally and emotionally, and it deflected what was going on with her emotions. And when she was being slandered and told she was a liar and mocked, I think she obviously lost it a bit on TikTok. I'll be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? She did. You know what I mean? And it's hard to tell a lady, right, who's going through them kind of emotions, partner or not, what to do
yeah,
when she's feeling like that. She
it
don't,
is.
because when somebody's mocking the loss of a child, something that she's been looking forward to, she's a great mother, really amazing mother. And then she's doing that, and then people are mocking it. You've got to understand why the anger's inside, why she's so emotionally traumatized. When you're talking about the loss and calling her a liar, and she's going out of her way to prove it, and she's. Pardon? Oh, sorry, I thought she was talking to me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's hard to deal with. Like I said, people say, "Well, I wouldn't do it. It's a personal to me. I would have kept it off TikTok." You wouldn't, and I respect that. But you've got to understand, Talia is a singer-songwriter. She's got a massive, big Instagram account. She's got a Facebook account with 100,000 followers on there. She's got a couple of her TikToks. So she's very well known in the
yeah,
music world. She really is. So, and the papers speak about her a lot as well. So when she's being called a liar and mocked, and I feel that she had no alternative but to come on and try and prove, listen, we have lost a child, there's the proof, but people just try and say, no, you're lying, it ain't true, we don't believe the badger notes, we don't believe the discharge paper, we don't believe, there was even pictures of her in hospital, like lying in that bed with the reports, and she even showed things that I feel sick about, and like I said,
yeah.
I was embarrassed about that for what she did, but I feel like she wasn't in a good place then when she just got out of the hospital. She was very emotionally traumatized, and I think any woman would be after being pregnant for a few months. Do you know what I mean? We had our first scan on the Friday. Do you know what I mean? It was lost on the Sunday, the child, or went in on the Saturday, lost on the Sunday, and then we was having our first scan on the bloody Friday of that week. You understand? And she bought baby clothes and everything. Do you understand what I mean? It was hard for, and like I said, she was being mocked on a daily basis. I'm live, I'm doing my drama, and then you've got EQ playing stuff. At the time, Angie was doing stuff as well, but I know her and Angie are friends. Well, they sorted that now. Then you had Corey mentioning it as well. He wanted proof so he could show things. Then you got Sophie Bailey talking about it every single fucking day. Sorry for my
What?
French, Linda. Non-stop. Then you've got to understand, and then, you said,
You're all right, love.
it's not good. And this has been persecution. The last straw for me, Martin, Belinda, was when that man turned up the weekend, when he turned up Sunday, that was the last straw. I thought, fuck this.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And like Martin said different. Martin said he probably would have went there and probably end up hurting Corey. I didn't. I didn't hurt Corey. I didn't kick any doors off. I went there to say, this is, we're on a platform. You can't do this anymore. It's the end of it. But they didn't want to know. They wanted to carry on. They want the clout. They want the views. And I'm saying, I will never knock their door ever again. That's all I'm saying. Ever.
No, don't knock the door, kick it. Clean in. And not his
Sorry,
back one either.
I think you were so brave and courageous. The fact that you didn't retaliate in any way, you know. You drove all that way, all them hours. You know, you must have been, you know, your hair, dragging your hair out. You've had a terrible ordeal, both of you. You know, and it's not an everyday occurrence. It's not like